a lifestyle that is needed in this kingdom. So nobody is it is driven by a certain life. And that life is the life of God. And in summary this morning, I just make him mad that life is powered by the school that God instituted in order to bring us into awareness and knowledge. And one of the experiences of this school is that God brings us into the knowledge of the depth of his love for us. The depth of his love. The more you love God, the more you see reasons why you will do some things. Hello? The more you love God. So God will teach us the depth of his love. Bible says something in the book of Ephesians. In Ephesians chapter 3 verse 18. Bible says that God will open our eyes for us to understand the height, the depth, the length, and the width of God's love. Yet the love of God is too deep that you need a revelation to capture it. And the more in the depth of the love of your Father, the more, and the Bible made us understand that if you don't have the love of the Father, you don't even know God. So we know God by having what? The love of the Father. The love of the Father. And that's what influences us to love God. The more in the Bible says that we love him for he first loved us. We love him because he first what? Loved us. And I want you to know that the love of God, there are many things that it does. I'll tell us two, then we'll pray. Number one, there is a way God calculates how much you love him. Yes. How much you love for God. God with his own way of calculating them. And one of them is how much you obey God is what tells God how much you love him. So you don't love God because you are always emotional. The love of God is measured by how obedient you are to God. Jesus in the book of John chapter 14, he said, if you love me, keep my commandments. If you love me, what? So doing what I say is the only thing God interprets as what? As love. So love for God, any other thing. No, but also that is what God sees as love. If you love me, keep my commandment. Number two thing God sees as love for him is how is your love or care for others. The heart you have for others, what God also interprets as love. That's why I tell people, this was when he was speaking, or in the book of Matthew chapter 25, also in that day, all these things. You can't say that you love God but you hate your brother. You can't hate somebody and still love God. That place. Only the sure that you said you love God, you must love your neighbor. Bible says, if you can't love somebody, your neighbor, how do you think you can love God? Impossible. Huh? I can't hate you and say that I love God, because that is not of God. And Bible says, which implies me be murderer, not because you poison somebody, but because of hate. Because that's not the nature of God. So we must have that understanding that God interprets love for him by how we love others unconditionally.